Reyna. I'm with the Prosperity Task Force.
Mario, how are things going with RioPlex?
RioPlex is developing very quickly. I think you might have seen some reports that we're out there trying to find a branding company. We need help in developing the brand for RioPlex. And at the same time, we're looking for an executive director to help us continue running the operations in RioPlex.
And you're also hiring an economic development director. And so some people might say, well, we thought RioPlex was a branding operation. You want to promote this region, this binational region around the world, around the globe. So why would RioPlex want a director for economic development?
Well, we're looking for a director to run RioPlex, which is the branding operation. And it only makes sense that we look at someone that understands economic development. Because if you don't understand economic development, then the branding by itself will not make any sense. Just like if you build a plane, you want to hire someone that understands how to fly the plane, but that's probably not the whole purpose of having that particular plane. So that's the idea behind it. RioPlex is going to help the community brand itself, not here, but away from here. So you need to understand the economic development that is happening in our own environment to explain it to someone else far away from here. So that's the idea behind it.
So RioPlex will be promoting our binational region around the world?
That's the intent, because we want obviously industries from other countries to come to this location. And I think we understand what is going on right now. And what is going on right now is that there's a lot of turmoil in the world, and as a consequence of the geopolitics that we have right now, companies are looking for a safer place to do business. And the safer place obviously is going to be here or close to us, which would be in Mexico. So that's what's going on. Companies are looking at other countries, obviously, but if we don't tell them where we are, if we don't tell them the resources that we have, the assets that we have, they won't come here. So we need to be out there promoting our region.
The reason I wanted to follow up with you following the press release, the announcement that you're looking for an economic development director, was because I thought, well, maybe some of the economic development groups down here, the different EDOs around the valley, might read that and say RioPlex is getting into the business of economic development, but that's not the case.
That is not the case. We're going to be helping promote the region, and like everything else that happens in economic development, there will be leads, and those leads will be relayed to someone that can help them. So that's the intent. Right now, that is the intent, and I don't see this particular situation changing into anything different, because we have very good people in our region, and we want to work with them, and that's going to be the intent going forward.
Do you have a timeline on when you would like to fill that position?
We're going to have a meeting with the CEO group. When I say I play a small role in this, but the CEO group will meet in a couple of weeks, and so the plan is going to be discussed even further at that point, and you will be invited to join us. So once the CEOs have a chance to further discuss this, then there'll be a timeline for the hiring process. But it's going to happen soon. It's going to happen. Just like the branding situation, it's going to happen very soon. And when I say soon, within the next 4 or 5 weeks, it's going to happen. So this situation is moving fast.
I saw the timeline for the branding operation, that you want applications, you want proposals in rather quickly. And I was thinking, have you given yourself enough time, or have you given those companies out there, both here locally and perhaps beyond the valley, enough time to get a proposal together? You're moving on a very fast timeline.
Right, and we have received a few already. And so one thing we need to remember is that this individuals are individuals that make decisions right away. They don't have to consult with a lot of folks, so they make the decision. So it's going to be very, very quick. So I'm very happy to play a small part, but this is it's going to be something that is apart from the Prosperity Task Force, because RioPlex is and will be an independent entity, and I'm just happy that I am playing this very small role in this.
The fact that you are RioPlex, not you again, RioPlex is hiring a branding firm, a marketing firm to promote our region. The fact that they're hiring an economic development director must tell us that you've had buy-in. The CEO group among themselves have bought into the concept and are willing to put money skin in the game to make this happen.
Absolutely, because at the same time we need to remember that what is it that they're trying to do. They're trying to bring industries to this area. What does that mean? They're going to make investments in this area. So what does that mean? It means they're going to hire people, and the whole thing about what RioPlex is all about is that we're trying to lower the poverty levels in our region. You know, when you have a situation like 28% of our population lives in poverty, we need to bring more investments into the local community, and at the same time, there's other things going on besides RioPlex. You know, we need to increase the number of people that have a high school education. So Region 1 and some of the public schools are working at, you know, this high school dropout recovery program. All those things are going to play a big role in the prosperity for our region.
And so you said earlier there that RioPlex will be sort of, it's going to be its own entity. It's not going to be a subdivision of a committee of the Prosperity Task Force.
It's going to be its own entity, you know, and so once everything is settled, the CEO group, some of them, a lot of them will be part of the board, the governing board, and so it's going to be its own entity, similar to any other entity that you might see, like the partnership or co-step, but the difference being that strictly for branding the area.
And what's the buy-in been like? I know you've had meetings and you've put on events on both sides of the river to promote RioPlex. It seems as though the feedback has been very good.
They send me messages all the time that when is the next meeting, so they want to be part of this, and so. But again, you know, I think when you promote something, you're going to get something in return. And I tell people this idea. It's not an idea, but Coca-Cola was started in 1898. They're still promoting every day. So you need to promote. You need to promote in order to attract business. So that's the idea behind RioPlex.
And then if you broaden it just for a moment, you've touched upon some of the other work of the task force. Is the task force now a regional entity? Is it the whole of the valley now, the task force? And any other highlights, any other big programs, projects that is the task force working on that you want to share?
Well, the biggest activity, one of the biggest activities going right now is with Region 1. So Region 1 is working very hard to get the public schools involved with high school dropout recovery programs. So the last time, you know, we met, there's about 3 or 4 that are doing this. And the other thing is what we call the tri-agency convener project. And this is where the TEA, the Coordinating Board, and Workforce Solutions are working together to create a better workforce for the community. That's the big situation. And then we have other activities. You know, we're going to be working with the diocese, for example, and so they have programs that we need to mentor individuals. We need to work with also with high school dropout recovery programs in their churches. So those are things that are happening right now. And then, you know, Alta Care, for example, that foundation has joined the Prosperity Task Force. So we're revolving a lot of the activities that they're doing. and she's going to help. This foundation is going to help us in medical, in food, in housing, and those are things that are very much needed in the local community.
And that group, AltaCare, working with Western Governors University, has got a big event this Thursday.
Exactly.
In McAllen, a summit.
Exactly, and that's why, you know, that group is going to be extremely important for a lot of things that we do with the Prosperity Task Force. I'm very thankful that they join us, and we will help that foundation as much as we can.
And so, in terms of naming the task force, do we still call it the Prosperity Task Force of Hidalgo County, or is it now the whole region?
Right now it's still what it is, but you know, we do have participation from some of the mayors in Stark County. We obviously, Mayor Collins from Brownsville, and that community is involved in the things that we're doing. But Cameron County is doing fantastic, by the way, and I mean, they have the port, and they have SpaceX, and a lot of great things going on over there. So whatever they do is going to help everybody, and they're doing a lot, so it's going to trickle into the things that we do here. So I was there at the historic event when the Starship was launched. It's such a great feeling to see that. I don't know if people can appreciate what happened this week, but that was the biggest Starship, the biggest rocket ever launched from anywhere, and
in the world,
and then the recovery process. It's just something that you really need to understand how significant that is. And then it happened in the valley. It happened in the valley. So you know, I saw so many articles written about it, and some of the articles were named it like Star Base or something, and then but other articles would say Boca Chica, but nonetheless, it's still the Rio Grande Valley.
Anything else you'd like to add, Mario?
No, thank you for asking about RioPlex and the Prosperity Task Force. It's an important mission that we have to lower the poverty rates in our community, so everybody have a better quality of life, and that's where it's going. I think now with the CEO group behind the RioPlex project, it's going to help a lot. It's going to help everybody a lot, not only the community, but the EDCs will be involved in this project, so everybody will benefit from it.
Mario, thank you so much for today's interview. As always, we've learned a lot.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.